Readings of Almighty God's Words. The responsibilities of leaders and workers. The responsibilities of leaders and workers, 27. Today, we will continue to fellowship on the topic of the responsibilities of leaders and workers. Previously, we fellowshipped up to the 14th responsibility, and there are still a few subtopics under this responsibility that have not been fellowshipped. Before we fellowship, first, review how many responsibilities of leaders and workers there are.
There are 15.
Go ahead and read them.
The responsibilities of leaders and workers. 1. Lead people to eat and drink of God's words and understand them, and to enter the reality of God's words. 2. Be familiar with the states of each sort of person and resolve various difficulties relating to life entry they encounter in their real lives. 3. Fellowship the truth principles that should be understood in order to perform each duty properly. 4. Keep abreast of the circumstances of supervisors of different work and personnel responsible for various important jobs, and promptly alter their duties or dismiss them as necessary, so as to prevent or mitigate losses caused by using unsuitable people and guarantee the efficiency and smooth progress of the work. 5. Maintain an up-to-date grasp and understanding of the status and progress of each item of work, and be able to promptly resolve problems, correct deviations, and remedy flaws in the work, so that it will progress smoothly. 6. Promote and cultivate all manner of qualified talent, so that all who pursue the truth can have the opportunity to train and enter the truth reality as soon as possible. 7. Allocate and make use of different types of people sensibly, based on their humanity and strengths, such that each is put to their best use. 8. Promptly report and seek how to resolve confusions and difficulties encountered in the work. 9. Accurately communicate, issue, and implement the various work arrangements of the house of God in accordance with its requirements, providing guidance, supervision, and urging, and inspect and follow up on the status of their implementation. 10. Properly safeguard and sensibly allocate the various material items of the house of God, books, various equipment, grain, and so on, and carry out regular inspections, maintenance, and repair to minimize damage and waste. Also, prevent evil people from taking possession of them. 11. Choose dependable people of up-to-standard humanity, especially for the task of systematically registering, tallying, and safeguarding offerings. Regularly review and check incomings and outgoings so that cases of squandering or waste, as well as unreasonable expenditures, can be identified promptly. Put a stop to such things and demand reasonable compensation. Additionally, prevent, by any means, offerings falling into the hands of evil people and being taken into their possession. 12. Promptly and accurately identify the various people, events, and things that disrupt and disturb God's work and the normal order of the church. Stop and restrict them and turn things around. Additionally, fellowship the truth so that God's chosen people develop discernment through such things and learn from them. 13. Protect God's chosen people from being disturbed, misled, controlled, and grievously harmed by antichrists, and enable them to discern antichrists and forsake them from their hearts. 14. Promptly discern and then clear out or expel all manner of evil people and antichrists. 15. Protect important work personnel of all sorts, shielding them from the interference of the outside world, and keep them safe to ensure the various important items of work can proceed in an orderly fashion.
Did everyone hear all these 15 responsibilities clearly? The 14th responsibility of leaders and workers is promptly discern and then clear out or expel all manner of evil people and antichrists. So, how can you discern various kinds of evil people? The first criterion is based on their purpose for believing in God. How many points did we divide people's purposes for believing in God into? We divided them into 9 points. The first point is to satisfy one's desire to be an official. The second is to seek out the opposite sex. The third is to avoid disasters. The fourth is to engage in opportunism. The fifth is to live off the church. The sixth is to seek refuge. The seventh is to find a backer. The eighth is to pursue political aims. And the ninth is to monitor the church. This is discerning the essence of various kinds of people based on their intentions and purposes for believing in God. The second criterion for discerning the various kinds of people who need to be cleared out or expelled is based on the manifestations of their humanity essence in various aspects. How many manifestations are involved in this criterion? 1. Loving to misrepresent facts and falsehoods. 2. Loving to take advantage. 3. Being dissolute and unrestrained. 4. Being inclined toward vengeance. 5. Being unable to guard one's tongue. 6. Being unreasonable and willfully troublesome, with no one daring to provoke them. 7. Consistently engaging in licentious activities. 8. Being capable of engaging in betrayal at any time. 9. Being capable of leaving at any time. 10. Wavering. 11. Being cowardly and suspicious. 12. Being inclined to court trouble. 13. Having a complicated background. There are 13 manifestations in total. The 14th responsibility of leaders and workers is promptly discern and then clear out or expel all manner of evil people and antichrists. Issues related to the first criterion, one's purpose for believing in God, have already been fellowshipped. We have also already fellowshipped on the first 7 issues of their humanity, which is the second criterion. Today, we will begin to fellowship from the 8th manifestation of their humanity, being capable of engaging in betrayal at any time. Item 14. Promptly discern and then clear out or expel all manner of evil people and antichrists. Part 6. The standards and bases for discerning various kinds of evil people. 2. Based on one's humanity. H. Being capable of engaging in betrayal at any time. Those who obviously manifest a capacity to sell out the church at any time. You can recognize people of this sort, right? Is the problem with these people very serious? Some people sell out the church because they are cowardly, while others do so because of their evil humanity or other issues. Regardless of the reason, the fact that people of this sort are capable of selling out the brothers and sisters and betraying God at any time shows that they are unreliable. If they grasp some important information about the church or personal information about the brothers and sisters, such as where the brothers and sisters live, who the church leaders are, what work the church is involved in, or who does which important jobs and duties, they could divulge this information when danger arises or in certain special circumstances, selling out the church and the brothers and sisters. One reason they may do this is to protect themselves and secure their own safety. On the other hand, they may intentionally act this way, not treating this information seriously and being capable of disclosing it and engaging in betrayal at any time in exchange for personal gain. For example, some people are arrested by the Great Red Dragon, and during interrogation, the Great Red Dragon threatens, entices, or even uses torture to force a confession, telling these people that if they talk, they will be released. So they betray all the information they know about the brothers and sisters and the church in exchange for their own freedom. People of this kind are textbook Judases. Tell me, how should the type of people who are textbook Judases be treated and dealt with?
People of this type should be expelled immediately and also cursed.
Usually, these textbook Judases, whether intentionally or unintentionally, inquire about or gain knowledge of certain situations about the church and keep it in mind. Later, once some circumstance befalls them and they are arrested, they confess this information. On the surface, their inquiries and learning about these particulars may not seem to be for the purpose of deliberately confessing the information to the Great Red Dragon, but when they are arrested, they cannot help themselves. As a result, their confession brings some adverse consequences to the church. Thus, their casual inquiries and learning about these particulars are not of the nature of ordinary chatting or idle talk. Rather, they are doing so intentionally and purposefully. This prepares the conditions for them to later become Judases. Can the problem of people who casually betray others' information be resolved by such methods as fellowshipping the truth or giving them warnings?
No.
Why not?
Because people of this type lack conscience and reason, and they will not accept the truth, and fellowshipping the truth with them is useless.
How should this kind of evil person who can casually harm others be dealt with? There is only one solution, which is to clear them out, because what they have done not only harms the brothers and sisters, but also disturbs the work of the church. This kind of behavior can be characterized as selling out the brothers and sisters and selling out the church. So people of this type must be cleared out or expelled. Although people of this type cannot be characterized as antichrists, there are sufficient grounds to characterize them as evil people who disrupt and disturb the work of the church. Therefore, clearing out people of this type is entirely in accordance with principles. These people are not interested in the truth, They just like to inquire everywhere about the particulars of the leaders and workers, as well as the particulars of certain brothers and sisters. They have believed in God for several years and haven't understood many truths. Yet they have gathered quite a lot of information about the families of the leaders and workers and the brothers and sisters. No matter which brother or sister is mentioned, they can share some of their particulars, which others find quite shocking. Although they are not leaders or workers, they are always eager to inquire about certain internal matters of the church, such as administrative work, the heads of the various structures, and some jobs related to external matters. They frequently ask who has gone to which places to do their duties and when they left, who has been promoted, who has been dismissed, and how certain aspects of the church's work are going. After inquiring about these things, they spread the information everywhere. What's even more detestable is that some people even write down the information they've gathered after asking about it. Doesn't this show that they have ulterior motives? When recording their own matters in the country of the Great Red Dragon, they know to use code or cryptic language. But when recording others' information, they don't employ a method that demonstrates even a bit of wisdom. Instead, just writing down the real names, appearances, ages, phone numbers, and other details of the brothers and sisters. Isn't it that they are intending to engage in betrayal? They have bad intentions, and do indeed intend to engage in betrayal. Once something dangerous happens and the police confiscate the information they recorded, the police only need to threaten and intimidate them without even resorting to torture, and they immediately confess everything in detail, without holding anything back. For the things they've forgotten, they even rack their brains to remember, and as soon as they recall something, they tell it to the police immediately. They even lead the police to the homes of the brothers and sisters, to the homes of leaders and workers, and to the accommodations of those doing important duties, to have them arrested. Don't you think that people of this type are extremely vile? Before they sell out others, their behavior didn't seem like that of an evil person, much less that of an antichrist. It may have just been the manifestations of an ordinary corrupt human being. But once they were arrested, they were able to readily sell out any of the brothers and sisters. Just this one manifestation makes them even more vile than evil people and antichrists. It's not that they couldn't help but divulge a bit of insignificant information under severe coercion, torture, and persecution, because their flesh was too weak and they couldn't endure it anymore. Rather, they proactively and heedlessly disclosed all the information they knew, without any regard for the safety of the brothers and sisters, much less any regard for the work of the church. This is extremely vile. This is one of the manifestations of the type of people who are Judases. There is another type of people who seek to report the church and the brothers and sisters at the slightest provocation. For instance, when they encounter natural disasters, illness, or theft, they complain about God, and they also complain that the brothers and sisters lack love and don't help them solve their problems. This makes them want to sell out the church and the brothers and sisters. Some people commit reckless misdeeds and are pruned, and the brothers and sisters also distance themselves from them. This makes them feel that God's house lacks love, so they blurt out, "You've all taken a dislike to me, haven't you? You all look down on me, don't you? Can I really still gain blessings from believing in God? If I don't gain blessings, I will report you all." This is the most classic line from such people. Why do I say that this statement, "If I don't gain blessings, I will report you all," is classic for them? It's because this statement represents their humanity. This phrase is not something they say just to vent their hatred after encountering many dissatisfying situations, or because of deep-seated resentment, nor is it a spur-of-the-moment outburst. Rather, it is something that has filled their hearts and can be revealed at any time. It is something that has long existed in their hearts and can erupt at any moment. This represents their humanity. Their humanity is this degraded. If anyone provokes or hurts them, they are capable of selling out that person at any time. If, while doing their duty, they violate the work arrangements or principles, and the leaders and workers or the brothers and sisters prune them a bit, they become resentful, angry, and dissatisfied. And then they say things like, "I'll report you. I know where you live. I know your first and last names." If you don't appease people of this type, they really might sell you out. They aren't just trying to scare anyone, nor are they saying it in the heat of the moment. If someone really offends them or makes them angry, they are fully capable of selling out that person. Some people say, "Why be afraid of them?" It's not that we are afraid of them. We wouldn't fear their betrayal if this happened in a democratic and free country. But in the country of the Great Red Dragon, if they really do engage in betrayal, it could cause trouble for the brothers and sisters and impact the work of the church. If the brothers and sisters really are arrested, the Great Red Dragon will make a big deal out of it. Once they find a breach, they will keep arresting people endlessly. In that eventuality, the church life of any number of people would be affected, and the normal performance of duty of any number of people would be impacted. Aren't these quite severe consequences? You must consider these things. People of this type are always throwing tantrums when interacting with others. If someone says something that makes them unhappy or exposes their problems and angers them, they get upset with that person and may even refuse to speak to them for several days. And when you go look for them and ask them to do their duty, they ignore the request. It's impossible to get along with people of this type. Aren't they evil people? In a group of people, you often hear evil people say things like, "If anyone crosses me, I won't let it go. I know exactly where you live. I even know the color of your window curtains. I'm fully aware of where you gather and where the leaders and workers live." Would you say that people of this type are dangerous individuals? They are textbook Judases. Even when everything is normal, they may still go out of their way to engage in betrayal. And if there is some mishap, they will be the first to jump out and turn Judas. Therefore, if people of this type are discovered in the church, they should be cleared out or expelled as early as possible. What other manifestations do people of this type have? For example, during gatherings, because the brothers and sisters see each other regularly, there's no need for exchanging pleasantries. When it's time, they start the gathering, reading God's words and fellowshipping on the truth. But those who throw tantrums get angry when they see that no one pays attention to them or greets them. They blurt out, "Do you all look down on me? None of you welcome me. Well, that's fine. I've got a way to deal with you. I know where the church leaders live. I know which of you are doing your duties where and what work you're doing. I know who is hosting the leaders and workers, who is safeguarding offerings, who handles the printing of books, and who is responsible for transporting them. I'll report you all. I'll report everything about the church to the police." If people treat them with the utmost respect, everything is fine. But as soon as someone triggers or provokes them, it becomes a problem. They will seek revenge and betrayal. Whenever they encounter something that makes them unhappy or dissatisfied, they make harsh threats against the brothers and sisters and the church leaders. Would you say that people of this type are frightening and dangerous? People of this type are Judases who are capable of engaging in betrayal at any time. They are dangerous individuals. There's another manifestation of people who are capable of engaging in betrayal at any time. For example, in the country of the Great Red Dragon, the number of churches established in various provinces and cities, how many people belong to each church, who the leaders are, and what work the church is engaged in. These things must be kept strictly confidential. Even non-believing family members and relatives must be guarded against, and this information must never be leaked to prevent future problems for the church. However, these dangerous individuals who harbor ulterior motives are always trying to inquire about such things. If the brothers and sisters refuse to tell them, they feel, "Why do you all know these things, while I'm the only one left in the dark? Why not tell me? Are you treating me like an outsider, not as one of the brothers and sisters? Fine then, I'll report you." You see, in any situation, they are capable of reporting the church and the brothers and sisters. No one has offended them, but even the slightest dissatisfaction gives them the urge to report the church. For example, when books of God's Word are distributed to the brothers and sisters, everyone eagerly starts looking at how many chapters of God's Word there are in the book, how many pages there are, and the quality of the printing. They are all happy and excited to hold the book in their hands. But the type of people who are Judases, on the other hand, are thinking, "Where was this book printed? How much does it cost to print a single copy? Who is in charge of the printing? After printing, who handles the transportation? How did these books get delivered to our church? Where are the books stored? Who is in charge of safeguarding them?" These topics are inherently sensitive. Generally, those who have rationality and those who have humanity won't inquire about such matters. But these dangerous individuals who are capable of engaging in betrayal are eager to inquire about them. So, what do you think? Should you tell them when they keep asking about these things or not? If you tell them, they'll be capable of disclosing this information and engaging in betrayal. And if you don't tell them, they'll have something to say. How come I don't get to know about this? God's house isn't fair. I'm part of God's house. I have the right to be informed about any and all matters. You're treating me like an outsider. Fine, I'll report you. Once again, they want to report the church. Aren't they evil people? If they really did report the church to the police, what consequences would it bring? Wouldn't the brothers and sisters face life-threatening danger if they were arrested? Furthermore, after the police made arrests, this would cause so much difficulty for the brothers and sisters and the work of the church. It would also impact the life entry of God's chosen people to varying degrees. Those who don't know how to seek the truth could become negative and might even stop attending gatherings altogether. They don't consider any of this at all. So, do they have a conscience and reason? Whatever work the church is doing, they always want to know about it first. They're only happy when they know everything going on in the church. If there's even one thing they aren't told about, they can't let it go and want to go and report the church, which can cause huge trouble. What sort of wretch is someone like this? They are a devil. If a devil is always concerned about something in the church, it's bound to cause trouble. For example, if there are some brothers and sisters who are well off and make large offerings, they never stop thinking about this and ask them, "How much did you offer?" The other party replies, "How could I tell you that? What the left hand does, the right hand shouldn't know. I can't tell you. It's confidential." They respond, "Even that's confidential? You don't trust me. You're not treating me as one of the brothers and sisters." In their heart, they resent the other party and think, "You think you're so great with your large offerings. You won't tell me how much you offered. I know your family runs a business. If you provoke me, I'll report you for believing in God, and your business will fail. Then you won't be able to offer a single cent." You see, they want to go report people again. Whenever there's a small thing they aren't told about, they want to report the church and the brothers and sisters. The residences of certain individuals doing important duties are only known to a few people. This isn't about deliberately hiding anything from anyone or doing something shady behind others' backs. It's because the environment is too dangerous, and for safety reasons, such arrangements are necessary. When this traitor, this Judas, hears that a certain family is hosting some traveling brothers and sisters, they think this is something worth reporting. Maybe the police will even reward them. They lurk behind the door eavesdropping, and after hearing something, they get angry. "You're discussing church matters behind my back without telling me. You're afraid I'll sell you out, so you're guarding against me and keeping things from me. not treating me as part of God's house. Fine, I'll report you. Once again, you see, they want to report others. Would you say this person is a big problem? They believe that all situations involving the brothers and sisters or the church should be made known to everyone, and that everyone has the right to be informed, especially themselves. If there's even one thing they aren't told about, they threaten to report people. They constantly use the act of reporting to threaten the brothers and sisters and the church leaders, always using it to achieve their own goals. People like this are a great hidden danger in the church, a ticking time bomb. At any moment, they could bring harm and disaster to the brothers and sisters and the church's work. When such individuals are discovered, they should be cleared out. They must not be indulged.